Hi, Shanice. How are you doing? Welcome to Nine Sim. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you all are doing great. So, X is actually on fire, right? And people are also bringing it down to TikTok. So, we are also able to see it because I was able to see that first from Instagram. And then I saw Sister Dory Reed, analyzing it. Now, it's really amazing how some people think that they can, like, really trust Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk. Now, tell me the reason why they think that Americans do not, right, deserve to have a high paying job. Like, instead of them to put indigenous people, right, they prefer to bring in people from India and other places, India, most especially because if you see what this Vivek Ramaswamy is fighting for, that will absolutely let you understand that they really got interest from other places. Why? Because they feel like they are going to make a lot of money by bringing in people, pay them less to do the job. So now they are saying that you are not intellectually smart to handle the job, tech job, right? And Vivek is absolutely switching up on starts on H1B visa after promising to get rid of them. Man, it's really going to be a very crazy time for Meganot. For those of you that are believing that this incoming government is going to favor you and your family, you absolutely is on a long thing because the real gist is about to come and you all effed around and you are finding out. Let's get into this video.
Okay, this is fascinating. There is a full on Twitter fight breaking out right now over Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy going all in and making H1B visas their hill to die on. And I don't know who started it, but it's getting ugly. So Vivek Ramaswamy is getting hosed. He's getting like cooked for this tweet. The reason top tech companies often hire foreign-born and first-generation engineers over Native Americans. He puts that in scare quotes because, like, Native Americans are actually indigenous people. That's not what he meant. He meant, like, people born in the United States. Isn't because of an innate American IQ deficit, a lazy and wrong explanation. A key part of it comes down to the C word, culture. Tough questions demand tough answers, and if we're really serious about fixing the problem, we have to confront the truth in all caps. Our American culture has venerated mediocrity over excellence for way too long, at least since the 90s, and likely longer. That doesn't start in college, it starts young. So what he's saying is that Americans, namely the kinds of Americans who vote his way, I guess, or at least including them, ain't qualified for the kinds of jobs that they're hiring for in Silicon Valley. Top tech companies, he's saying, have to look elsewhere in other countries like India, Pakistan, other places. His family originally came here from India, and they have to look to them because they've got the right culture that makes them qualify for the jobs. Oh, that didn't go over well with the MAGA folks. And then it got even spicier. Elon Musk himself jumped in when people started saying, no, 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 Vivek, that ain't cool. So somebody posts, there are over 330 million people in America. Surely there must be enough among them to build your ultimate team. Why would you deny real Americans that opportunity by bringing foreigners here? Uh-oh. Elon Musk's response, your understanding of the situation is upside down and backwards. Of course, my companies and I would prefer to hire Americans, and we do, as that is much easier than going through the incredibly painful and slow work visa process. However, in all caps, there is a dire shortage of extremely talented and motivated engineers in America. This is not about handing out opportunities from some magical hat. You don't get it. This is blindingly obvious when looking at NBA teams. Oh, now he's going to do the race science. As the physical differences are so obvious to see, however, the mental differences between humans are far bigger than the physical differences. So he goes straight race science and says, just like NBA teams got all those black people on it because they just are physically better at basketball, I guess. He's going race science. He's like, the mental differences between Americans and H-1B visa foreign workers are just quantum difference. Now, we shall note Elon Musk is a foreign-born immigrant, too. Vivek Ramaswamy's parents came here from India, and his dad is not a citizen. He's still a citizen of India. So Vivek is a first-generation American. Elon Musk is an immigrant who's a naturalized citizen who, when he first got here, according to his brother, they were both undocumented. But they're saying that they had the innate qualities, not just to work in Silicon Valley, but to hire. They're both like tech guys, right? So they've got the qualifications, but y'all regular Americans don't. Oh, the right was not amused. Right-wing commentator David Marcus, no matter how you slice it, both Musk and Ramaswamy are saying native-born Americans just aren't good enough. That's a lie and deeply inappropriate for any government official to say. First of all, they're not government officials. Neither Vivek Ramaswamy nor Elon Musk are government officials. They're just two guys that Trump said are going to do some kind of efficiency thing. That's not even a real committee. It's not created by Congress. They're just regular people who Donald Trump says are going to get to cut the government. But anywho, let's keep going. Russ Douthat, who writes conservative columns, I don't think this is an accurate description of the American situation, the evolution of our educational system and cultural priorities and our traditional strengths. He not happy about it. Conservative somebody named Rachel Brevard. According to the Census Bureau data, the U.S. has more than 2 times as many American workers with STEM degrees as there are STEM jobs. And many of the STEM jobs that do exist go to foreigners because our immigration system allows them to be legally paid less. Not happy. And one more, somebody named John Cardillo. This is one of the most offensive things I've read. America and Americans are not mediocre. India is a filthy third world hellscape. If it's so exceptional, why doesn't its tech talent want to stay there? So he decided to throw in a little racism to, for spice. Ooh, another conservative commentator named Orrin McIntyre. Turns out the waste that Doge wanted to cut from America was Americans. Full-on catfight on the right. And ooh, get your popcorn, because eventually Laura Loomer, the extreme right-wing the extreme right-wing, personality that used to be traveling around on Donald Trump's plane, she jumped in it too. You remember that lady? She's bad crap, right-wing crazy, but she jumped in too. Nobody can afford to live off $70,000 a year in today's America. Stop crying about declining birth rates when you want us to live like a bunch of welfare queens. Can't have a family and keep having more kids while making $70,000 a year and also working 80 hours a week. You can make more money working 4 hours a week and overtime at McDonald's each year. What she's commenting on, she went and looked up the starting salaries at Tesla, posted them, and then made a comment that Elon Musk is underpaying his own workers. Right-wing on right-wing crime is way before its time. And, of course, folks on the other side of the ideological spectrum, particularly black folks, are enjoying this a lot because all of a sudden it turns out it's not just black jobs that are going away. It's jobs that white Americans who consider themselves high and elite thought were theirs. And it turns out, not according to Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, those jobs will be going to H-1B visas. You know who else uses a lot of H-1B visas? Donald Trump. He uses H-1B visas, which is a special kind of visa for foreign workers. He mostly employs foreign workers at Mar-a-Lago and his other spots. He loves hiring for those foreign workers. Yeah. Silicon Valley also, lots of foreign workers. Which was a fun revelation to a lot of people on the left side of the aisle. MAGA's realizing Vivek and Elon hire foreign workers over Americans is the best Christmas present ever. Make the Yuletide gay. And then this guy jumps in, Dr. Parikh Patel, with lots of letters after his name, and he's got lots of degrees, pointing out all these CEOs who are Indian. CEO of Google, Microsoft, Adobe, IBM, Chanel, FedEx, Palo Alto Networks, and the company called Perplexity, to which lots of people start jumping in his mentions and throwing lots of racism. It's getting ugly. But the actual factuals of it are that Donald Trump's base are primarily non-college voters. His base is not really college-educated voters. Kamala Harris overwhelmingly won the college-educated voters. So Donald Trump's own base are not people who typically would get jobs in Silicon Valley or in the kind of tech firms that he and Peter Thiel and Elon Musk, like, they're not getting jobs at Starlink. It's just, that's not the kind of people that these guys hire. They hire a lot of foreign workers. Y'all didn't know that? And this is coming as the share of college-educated Americans, particularly college-educated men, is declining, particularly when it comes to four-year colleges. And that decline is particularly acute among white men. Look at the gender gap between white, black, and I'll also show you Asian American men and women. For all 18 to 24-year-olds, the gap by 2022 is 9 points, meaning 48% of college enrollees are women, only 38% are men. But among white men, the gap is 10 points. It's the largest gap, much larger than the gap among black men and women, which isn't really that large. And here it is. Among Asian students, the gap is less. Among black men and women, it's a little bit less, but it's really wide among white Americans. So just at the time when white men are more often choosing no college, they can't get jobs at places Elon Musk and Ramaswamy are hiring. Weird. And they're being told by their own side that it's because they're not good enough. Stuff out here with those mega consequences. Keep your popcorn handy.
Yo, the drama did not end there. Oh my God. So an Indian guy came to give his 2 cents on the topic. His name is Vivek Ramaswamy. He said the reason why top tech companies go overseas to import talent is because of American culture. America does not have a good culture. Americans celebrate mediocrity over talent. Americans would rather celebrate a football player over a mathematics genius. America does not do this. Americans do not like to work. Americans are lazy. Americans are not interested in tech. Americans are this. Oh, people were like, oh, may God punish you, Vivek. God punish you. Americans were like, Vivek, how dare you say something like this? Who are you to tell us what our culture should be? Who are you to tell us that we do not have a good culture? How dare you? Is this why you people are going to India to import people? How dare you call us out? How dare you say Americans are not? Do you know that we went to the moon? Do you know that we went to this? Do you know that we are the first people to walk on Mars? Do you know this? So Elon Musk was like, I have had enough. I've had enough of Loomer. Loomer is being a nuisance. Please do not pay attention to Loomer. Ignore her. She's a troll. She's farming for impressions. She is farming for attention. Whenever you see a MAGA attention seeker, ignore them. Loomer was like, oh, really? So you think I'm a troll? You think I am being a nuisance? Well, let me tell everybody that you donated to Biden's administration. You are a sneaky MAGA. You are not the real MAGA. You were disguising. The only reason why you donated to Trump's campaign is so that you can convince him to increase H-1B visas for immigrants. You are the one bringing in. Oh my God. Laura was off the chain last night. Elon Musk was like, okay, that's it. That's it. I'm pretty sure he blew a whistle like, enough. Stop it. That's it. Okay, we're going to unplug your subscription. We're going to remove your subscribers, about 1,500 of them. That's like Laura losing 7,500 for the month. Yanked off her blue check, yanked off her subscribers, left the woman naked in the cold. She could no longer tweet the lengthy thread. She just have to like tweet. You know, when you don't have subscription on X, you have to about what 160 characters. So she was limited, but she did not care. She was like, everybody come and see her. Everybody come. Oh, Elon Musk has removed my blue check. Elon Musk is this. Elon Musk. I thought this is a free speech place. I thought Elon Musk was a free speech preacher. Why are we suffering? Why is Elon Musk silencing MAGA? Why is Elon Musk attacking MAGA? So any MAGA that speaks, Elon Musk will block them. So we cannot speak anymore. Is this why we voted for Trump? Elon Musk was like, well, for anybody who's trying to farm impression on this platform, we are going to silence you. So, Laura, go home and rest. Go home and cool off. This is not the place to incite violence. This is not the place to call people out. This is not the place to be a racist. This is not the place to hate on H-1B visa people. This is not a place to hate on Indians. Go home. The party is off. But trust Laura. Laura wasn't going to give up. Laura was like, no. I am going to write till the cows come home. I am going to let everybody know. Look at a statement. Elon Musk does not pay people well. Elon Musk hires engineers for cheap. That is why he went to India and brought all the techs. Elon Musk does not want to hire Americans because he does not want to pay. See that? See, that was like, I told you, Laura, go home. You've lost your subscription. You've lost your blue check. Party is off. No more impression farming with Indians. No more talking crap about Indians. Thank you, Elon Musk, for saving the day. Thank you, Elon Musk, for silencing Loomer. Woo-hoo-hoo. We won. Boo-hoo. Go home. Man, I think it's still going on. I don't think this fight is going to end. MAGAs were like, nah, that is no. Hell no. Who the hell is this South African man silencing people on X? So Elon Musk, so you've been the sneaky man on this platform. So all along you've been disguising because you wanted to import more Indians into America. You know what? Let us go and host the space. They started a space last night. I joined because I really wanted to follow this gist to the end. So I joined the space to listen. They were crying. I think that fight is still going on, but I'll bring you more gist when I hear more. Yo, the drama did not.
TikTok keeps deleting this video, so I'm gonna make it shorter so we can finally post this video. I have been over here so tickled at the MAGA infighting with Vivek and Elon. They didn't mess around. They thought they was all family in that club. No, nobody's family in that club, especially y'all. What were y'all doing? This is so funny to me. But before I get into the mess, let me make this little note here. For the 92% police that camp out in my comments about, oh sis, we aren't talking about this. You do what you want to do. I do what I want to do. My scale back will look different than yours. I don't need you policing me. Police your own street. I'm gonna have to block y'all if y'all keep doing that. Just keeping it real. All right, moving on. So, child, this video had me so tickled. So basically, today there was a conversation on social media. I think Laura Loomer helped start the fight, and she giving it right back to them being Elon and Vivek. And there's a discussion about the H-1B visa. This is a visa that often is used for skilled laborers from out of the country. Obviously, places like India is a place they often will use this. And so our tech industry is they use this visa a lot. This is how they get engineers here, or what have you. And they argue that America does not have enough engineers to sustain the businesses here. So they have to use this visa to get other people. So when Trump is talking about no immigration, they're thinking or hoping or trying to lobby that only includes low skilled labor, like the farming industry, whatever, and not them. Based off what I didn't read from Laura Loomer, they meant everybody. Okay, they meant everybody. So in response, in defense of the H-1B visa, which of course businesses like Elon's and Vivek's use, and also Vivek being an Indian American, this honestly, what he wrote probably is the most honest that he has been, because he's always given assimilation when he talks. This is probably the most honest that he's been, and you can't be this honest with them. Okay, and I even feel like that all Americans of all races caught a stray in that commentary he had. My goodness. Anywho, so Elon basically implies, not even implies, pretty heavy-handedly said that Americans are just not are lazy and not smart. So you know that didn't go over well. You're not from here, okay? You can't say that. So then Vivek, who was born here to immigrant parents, he's the first generation Indian American. He's like, it's not that they're dumb or lazy. It's a culture thing. So he starts out with this framing of like, we as Americans, as if he's part of it, and then moves on to have a kind of this outsider viewpoint of how America operates. That's never going to go well, but particularly with people whose whole viewpoint is framed around white supremacy or thinking America is the best, they're not going to listen to you, Vivek. And this is also just like wrong audience, wrong time, but also wrong message. I even found the message offensive as well, because his whole thing was that America has a culture that does not encourage being smart, and that the media plays a part in that. So like in this culture, y'all praise the prom queen over the mathlete. And I've been saying for years, that man reminds me of Kevin G from Mean Girls. And that example just sent me to the moon. He brings up Urkel and Screech, who both them actors were jerks. Okay. He's like, a lot of immigrant parents didn't allow their kids to watch 90s media because it played a part in how the messaging about being smart or whatever. Vivek. And honestly, and I know I haven't read all the comments, but I know somebody was going to say, if America's so bad, why y'all here? Y'all know that's their commentary. If America has this horrible culture, why y'all here? Why are you advocating for these H-1B visas? My other big thing with this, and granted, it doesn't solve for the issue of today of an engineer shortage today, but my issue with this is that we have two people who are, Elon's immigrant, and then also Vivek's parents immigrants. We have two people that are advocating to bring over more people here rather than fixing the pipeline issue in America. If you're saying that America doesn't take STEM seriously, y'all got all this money. Elon, you a billionaire. Go sprinkle the money into the schools. Build a better pipeline for STEM programs, because people are always going to go where the money is. If their kid can get a scholarship for a STEM program, they're going to take it. So build the pipeline. So yeah, y'all go read that message. It's going to have you tickled. And yeah, these two folks whose membership in this group was already a little on thin ice, drag the core constituency of MAGA. That is not gonna go over well. So I have my popcorn. I am sitting back for the laughs. Trust. TikTok keeps doing this. No, there's no world where I'm gonna sit up here and act like these two clowns were correct about anything. No. So first and foremost, they try to assimilate into American whiteness, white supremacy. They both do this while also maintaining an outsider viewpoint. And this was a very outsider viewpoint of America. And it felt very much like I'm hating from outside the club that I wasn't able to get into when I was in high school for Vivek. That's the energy I got. And how he's able, and it seems like his parents and people told him they don't like you because you're smarter than them. And that's just not an accurate telling of what often happens in American high schools. I went to one. Yeah, that's not what happens. A lot of times, I'll get to that in a second. But the other thing is, I think a lot of y'all y'all see a millionaire or billionaire and y'all assume that anything they say is based off of them being inherently more intelligent than other people. Y'all assume that their money is a show that they are more intelligent. They be falling up in that money, y'all. They be falling into it. They also make a cutthroat decision that many of us would not make to make that much money. They be inheriting the money. Like there's a lot of reasons why they are millionaires. And it's not always because they have some kind of superior intellect. All right. Let's just understand that from the gate. Other thing is, okay, for Vivek's little essay was horrible. He ironically, in the country he's up here trying to bash, that little essay would have got an F, a failing grade in every graduate program in America because it's based off of stereotypes. You mentioned numbers and metrics. He didn't mention numbers and metrics. Numbers and metrics actually been more persuasive. It wouldn't have been based around stereotypes, showing that America is not producing enough engineers or people that are wanting to go into math and science programs. But the problem with that is that if he were to do that, he would have to talk about America's education system being behind and areas that need to be improved. And the only way that you can make improvements in the American education system at a countrywide level is through the Department of Education that they want to get rid of. So he couldn't do that. So we had to stick to low-level stereotypes that honestly just don't fly. What he's talking about, like and you could tell, he one of them kids whose parents told him the kids don't like you because you're smarter than them. That's not honestly how high schools really work. Part of what happens in high schools, one thing I think we often shade the girl that's like the popular girl, and we think that she's just popular because she's pretty. We often don't give enough credit to charisma and being able to talk to people. We often frame those girls around being the mean girl because that's what we see in movies. But those girls and guys are more charismatic. They talk to people. They have better social skills. That plays a part into that. And so I have a friend that's super intelligent, that was a very smart kid, and she said that her mom was worried about her not having social skills, that she knew that being smart was important, but having social skills was also important. So she really pushed that for her. And she's a very social person. She's like, I'm actually inherently an introvert, but because of my mother, I learned to model extrovert behavior to be able to converse and fit in. And it's done her wonders in her career. Now, So that's part of what I think he's talking about. There's also this outsider piece, especially in the 90s, people that are for immigrant families that have, that do different things, that don't celebrate Christmas or whatever. That how you fit in those spaces is different, but that would require him to call out whiteness and assimilation in America. He wasn't going to do that. So he took low level jabs at American culture that just don't fly. The other thing I find funny is that for every Urkel and Screech that was like, shame for being nerdy, there's also a Doogie Howser. And even though Doogie Howser's on the air well before Urkel and Screech, it goes off the air in the early 90s, it comes on air in the 80s. That term, like Doogie Howser, was a very much in the American lexicon in the 90s as a smart person. Every show that he mentions also has a smart girl. So for every Screech, there's a Jessie Spano, who we saw her popping pills to keep up because she was very smart and highly motivated. And on Family Matters, Laura is also smart. And somebody reminded me that Laura actually gets into an Ivy League school. I think about Tia and Tamara on the Sister show. Tia was smart. Tamara was a goofball. We wanted to be Tia. Nobody wanted them to make a problem. So for every story, there's a flip of that. The other thing is, that here, he doesn't dig into data. Data is more persuasive. And also, I think my biggest problem is you attack an entire culture that is obviously out here producing something that keeps this GDP afloat, that keeps us the richest country in America. You attack this whole culture and say this whole culture is problematic because it doesn't produce this specific field. Engineers, that don't feel silly to y'all. And I think it's also important too, we shouldn't discredit what the culture does produce. And so the culture that he describes, it produces actors, singers, it produces athletes. There's not our job art that also has a place in our economy as one of our biggest exports. I always say American culture, movies and all that's one of our biggest exports. So we should be mindful of two things can exist at once. So the key thing here is that the next little thing wasn't persuasive. It was based off of stereotypes. And I can undercut each one of the little things he said because there's women in all those shows that were smart. It also showed, to me, it's telling that he wasn't invited into spaces in high school, and he's decided because he was smart. That's not it. There's some cultural things that play there. There's a push for like the blonde, blue-eyed American. That's part of his experience as well. And he just didn't give any data. It's a lot going on there, but no, the conclusion is never going to be that Vivek is right. And then also, let's not forget, especially black people, don't forget what he opened his little funky little mouth and said to Don Lemon, talking about the black people got all their rights after the Civil War. He's not a good cultural commentator for America. He's not a trustworthy narrator for sure.
I just love the fact that every opportunity Elon Musk gets to show y'all that he does not give a fuck about the working class, that he takes it. He's sitting here championing for deporting immigrants, but not the immigrants that work for his company, that does the engineering for his business, that makes him rich. He's talking about the minimum wage ones, that the jobs that y'all don't want. And I love how they're talking about defunding the Board of Education. And y'all are like, yes, we're going to get vouchers for schools. This government, y'all thought was going to give y'all free vouchers to quality schools. So not only are they lowering the level of education in this country, they are then shipping in people with a higher level of education for high paying jobs because Americans are simply not qualified. And then they are putting systems in place to ensure that your children will never be qualified. And then his mama is out here telling you, hey, if you're poor, still have babies. It's fine. You can't afford them, still have them. Because what do they need? Minimum wage workers. It almost looks like he's here just to destroy America. And Donald is just sitting back letting it happen. And not only is he doing that, he's also demonetizing Republican influencers, right-wing influencers, removing their followers and subscribers
silencing them. You see what he could do over there on Twitter? And you see why they want to get rid of TikTok? So y'all over here talking about they can't wait to get rid of TikTok. They can't wait to get rid of TikTok. He's the one behind it. Y'all can't tell me nothing. It's him. It's all him. So y'all have fun with that.
MAGA is fucking around and finding out so hard right now, it is absolutely hilarious. Mind you, the whole entire MAGA movement wanted to ban H-1Bs. They trusted Vivek Ramaswamy, the Doge, whatever it is, and Elon Musk to ban H-1Bs. What is an H-1B? Well, basically it's a visa for specialized workers who are good in the tech field, medical field, science, whatever. They wanted it banned. They wanted those visas to go away so that Americans could have those jobs, because this is the America First Party. This is what Donald Trump ran on. Except Vivek and Elon took to Twitter, basically stating in a post that Americans are too dumb, too uncultured, and cannot handle these high-end tech jobs. And they are freaking the hell out. It's hilarious. Guys, did you really think that the billionaires were going to put you Americans over their profits? Why do these two tech billionaires prefer HB1 employees? Because they don't have to pay them as much. It has nothing to do with the labor. It has everything to do with the fact that they have better pockets when they don't pay you. And we told you this. We told you that they would never put you above themselves. And you guys were complaining about stealing jobs. Here we are. Anyways, my name is Mercedes Shanley. Give me a follow or you want to see my face again. Thanks, bye.
So this is all I got from this video. You know why I feel so bad for mega nuts? I feel really bad because their decision is absolutely going to affect everybody. You know, when you soil your finger with oil and leave it for a while, it absolutely will touch the rest of the fingers. So their decision right now will absolutely affect everyone, even the ones that did not vote for them. Now, I really do not understand who has been or who is actually believing and listening to Vivek Ramaswamy. Vivek Ramaswamy has always been a snake, green snake in green grass. I have had so many encounters with him and all that. I have brought so many of his videos. So there are some people that I can tell you that are right from the onset that I saw them. I saw what they are up to, because Vivek is of no good. Now, let me tell us something. You all thought they are going to put you first. No. These people are absolutely working for their pockets, right? And the fact that people that are, Vivek, his father is a migrant, right? And they gave back to him in the United States. He is Indian, and Indian and American. Elon Musk is not American. He just is actually even illegal, right? So tell me how these people are now about to champion a country. Ooh. I really do not. I have a lot to say. And if I say I don't know what to say at this point in time, I might be lying. Really, Americans really do not know what they got themselves into. And as it stands, they are also beginning to realize, FAFO, big time. The Republicans that are on X and that those influencers, they are removing their subscribers. Why? They absolutely want to silence them because you cannot speak. I love it for them. I love it for them. So let them enjoy it, right? They felt people that look like me were just too crazy. So for that reason, they know what they are doing. Absolutely, you all can see how smart they are. Now, the visa that they are talking about, how do you want to leave out a country or leave out the people in the country or the citizens, right? And you are looking for, for people to work in a particular field from other country. I am not saying that people shouldn't probably migrate to work and all that. But what I am saying is that the indigenous people should be the first people to get the job first. before giving the job to other people. Now, what are they planning? The plan is to make sure that the Americans do not earn high because they feel like they might not be able to pay you. So for that reason, let's bring in people and pay them less to do the job. Now, this is to tell you how crazy mega nuts are. Now, they are telling you that you are not even intellectually smart to do the job because you all do not. Now, let me tell us something. You see, some people are really like, they have really been working overtime. You see all this with Elon Musk and all that. This has really been something they've been, I don't know how they call it, like master plan, something they've been working on the ground for years. And right now, you see how it's playing out, right? They've been planning to defund it. Like, I'm not going to lie. You all already know how education, like, this thing is kind of a little bit messed in recent times. And they are also capitalizing on that. Like, you all do not have like intellectually capability or this thing to handle this job and all that. Now, I am going to draw this into where I remember that, I remember during the periods I was talking about with Black people and all that about jobs and how they think that Black people are lazy. And I already know where Black people are coming from. Their ancestors, it's a lie. For somebody to tell you that a Black person is lazy, that is absolutely not true, right? But then when they started having a problem with Black people was when they stopped paying Black people their dues, right? Because when you are working, you are supposed to pay me for my job and you don't have to cut anything out of it. But not telling me like, I am doing my job and you are trying to slap my money because you feel like maybe I am a Black person and for that reason I do not deserve to earn more, right? When Black people ask for a better pay to get a job done, they call you lazy because they feel like, why do you need extra money or why do you need a better pay to do a job? That was when they started hiring some kind of people to fill in a job because they feel like they are going to take less, right? They will take less and get the job done. But you that is a pro, they do not want it because they feel like they are going to pay her. Some people are doomed, and you all do not already know it. I mean, this incoming president is going to finish, and their cabinets and all that, the congressmen, some people are really going to find like faffle. But the worst part is that it is affecting everybody. You all better buckle up. A whole Indian man is telling you people how you all are supposed to, or like you all are not smart enough. And somebody that came out from the apartheid thing and is telling you people that you cannot get this job done or you are not capable of getting the job done. It is really going to be crazy. But 2025 is really going to be a tough time. But we really got to stand and fight hard. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.